different nachos.
Hello, you're listening and or watching the Nerd Edification Hour. Look, I'm back from Vegas. I've been gone for the past 2 shows.
Oh, I want to ask what happened, but...
Well, I'll tell you after the show. It was a lot. I don't think we have time for it today. So, before we get started, real quick, I just want to say we are going to be going through a little bit of changes. We're going to be changing the time that we're doing the show.
And our host.
We'll see about that because Rachel's schedule hasn't recently been able to be here. Jeremy's out of town right now, much like I was for the past 2 shows, and we're going to be doing some restructuring of the show, I think.
Some slight format changes.
Yeah, I kind of want it to be more free form instead of just reading from a script and kind of, it's like, oh, blah, 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 just have like little clip notes.
Yeah.
Try to do that. It'll be a little bit extra work, but I think I don't have to do any more programming ever again, hopefully, which means that I can just do whatever, whenever. So it'll be great. It'll be a good time.
But that's all in the future.
Yep, that's all in the future.
That lies ahead.
And we'll be going on a small hiatus till we can restructure and get everything back together. So just letting you know that now, that you might see a gap of shows and might change. You might grow up. I might come back with a fully grown beard.
Revolving.
Revolving. All right. So, now we're going to start with our entertainment and comic book news, whatnot. So, something very interesting. We only have one story for this. We're going to keep this show a little bit short, just to let you know. Did you know, Kyle, that NBC Universal bought DreamWorks Animation?
I heard something about that on the news today.
That's pretty crazy. So NBC Universal acquired DreamWorks Animation today, actually earlier in the week. I keep saying today. The company announced this. This follows rumors that NBC's Universal parent company Comcast offered to spend $3 billion on the movie studio. Wow.
Comcast owns too much. I don't trust Comcast. But I trust DreamWorks fairly well. DreamWorks has a lot of good stuff that's been coming out, especially for the animation department. Do we know how their structure is going to change?
So, as a result of the acquisition, DreamWorks Animation CEO and co-founder Jeffrey Katzenberg has a new title: Chairman of DreamWorks New Media. That's pretty interesting change. He's not a CEO anymore; he's a chairman now.
It's all the same thing.
But he's technically still the CEO.
Those are just made up titles.
You're not the top dog, but you're still the top kind of dog. But you have to listen to us. It's like going in, raiding a village, and telling the chief that
They just moved him horizontally, pretty much, in that ladder.
So what else? What other kind of changes will be going on? Let's see. Vox Media will now have access to the entire DreamWorks animation library.
And who are they?
They're Vox Media.
Vox Media.
I can look it up. Let me see real quick. So Vox Media. See, I have the laptop today. I was not able to print out a script. I know. This is what I should be doing every show, just in case.
Jeremy's not here with his magical Surface Pro tablet.
It's a smart media brands for a new generation. That's what the website says. Vox Media builds... All right, it was still loading. Vox Media builds smart brands that people love in big categories they're passionate about. So, I guess they're like some kind of
at the end of the day, probably nothing is going to change. It's just the money's going to get passed to somebody else.
Pretty much.
We probably won't notice anything at all.
Yeah, it's more so affects the people who work there, and
which aren't us.
Yeah, which aren't us, which could possibly mean job cuts. If probably not, since DreamWorks is pretty good about money, I would think. Especially How to Train Your Dragon, all the merchandise. That's probably why NBC bought it all, because all the merchandise that they sell. Especially How to Train Your Dragon toys.
That sounds like something Comcast would do.
Alright, so Kyle, we're going to move on to your favorite little segment. Go ahead, you take the reins. I'll let you...
Alright, now, we're moving on to our inevitable My Nintendo news, and some big information just dropped, and it's about the Nintendo's NX console. And earlier this week, or about middle of the week, middle of this week, sometime this week, we got expansive reveals about the NX, and we know that it is coming out in March of 2017.
March 2017, mark your calendars to go broke to actually go get this thing.
Now, if you're like me, Caleb, you're probably expecting it like maybe around November or December, for them to try to get it into the holiday. It's that holiday push like they've done with the past few consoles.
March is an interesting time now that I think about it. Usually they would do the holiday thing because that's when they sell a lot. But instead they're doing March. Yeah. I guess they're thinking that...
Well, President of Nintendo, Kimishima, has stated that they're doing that so they can make sure that the games are there. If you recall, a few years ago, the Wii U launched, and
there was like
not a lot happened.
3 games for it.
Lots of. It's like a desert. It's pretty droughtful. There's some oases, some good refreshing water, but they were few and far between, and it had a rough start. And the same with the 3DS. Really, that kind of had a rough launch. I pretty much played Street Fighter 4 3D for like the first year because that's all I had. But there was a rumor that was going around that it was planned for December, but it got pushed back at the last minute. So, in a way, I'm kind of bummed that I had to wait 3 whole extra months. But on the other side of that, we're going to have some games, hopefully. If they don't, we're going to be mad at Nintendo. We're going to be mad.
What's new? We're always mad at Nintendo for something.
Yeah.
Because we love them, but we're mad at them all the time. It's a weird, complicated
Those bunch of loons.
But speaking of NX, apparently something is going to come in as a launch title, pretty much.
That's true. As many have speculated, The Legend of Zelda Wii U is pulling a Twilight Princess, and it is going to be launched on both the Wii U and the NX, and
which now I don't even know which one I want because what's going to be.
I think you know which one I'm going to get.
You're going to get both of them.
I'm going to get both of them.
You're going to get both of them.
I'm going to get both of them, and then I'll have to buy a generator because I won't have money for electricity, so I make poor decisions. But now, speaking of Zelda and NX. Nintendo has stated that the NX is not going to be at E3 this year.
Which is a strange thing. I mean, I guess they're going to do a Nintendo Direct. Do you think they're going to do
that? They're probably going to do that. But as of right now, the only thing that's going to be at E3 from Nintendo is Zelda Wii U, which is another weird thing. Nintendo's breaking the mold here, but we don't know if it's not. We don't know if they're doing it for the better or the worse, but the NX isn't going to be at E3, but the only game they're going to have is Zelda Wii U, which, as a Zelda fan, I could probably be happy about Zelda Wii U being the only thing at E3. But
you don't really like seeing trailers or anything. So
I don't. I've been known to shield my eyes from trailers, so that they're kind of like mini spoilers for me. I like to go into stuff fresh, but I am dying to see some Zelda.
You just want to see a little bit. Just give me a little drop of dew from
some
the
of that
Nintendo
grass
tree.
Showed.
Drop. Oh, your
nothing happened. This is my drink, my cup. But yeah, they've only showed us 3 clips of Zelda Wii U, and they've all been like just
maybe about a minute,
straight up magic.
2 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes. I think that's all we've ever seen.
Like the first thing they showed, that open expanse and just like that world. And like as soon as they showed that, you're like, I want to see more.
I want to see more.
I want to go to there, Caleb.
He's like, well, because they teased it so well. Like, you see those mountains? You can go there. It's like, and then they said, oh yeah, these trees that were, riding on a horse, were just kind of walking by. There were apples here earlier. And I went and picked one. That that sold it for me. I'm like, I want to pick apples from a tree. That's my. I want to see that in a Zelda game. That's so cool.
That's true next gen tech. Picking apples from trees.
Picking apples from trees simulator, 2017. Apparently, I'm kind of bummed that it's going to be pushed back to 2017.
Are you surprised though?
No.
I'm
not surprised,
Zeldas
but
have a history of being delayed and then delayed and then delayed.
But they just kept saying, "All right, 2016, here we go. This is when it's going to be." No, it's not.
And they did release some new artwork for it. I think it's the first artwork we've gotten. It's an image of Blue Link, Blink I like to call him, Blink,
Let's see.
up in the air, and he's got his lightsaber arrow, bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, I saw something like that. Yeah.
And he's got his blue shirt, no hat, and he's got a big sword, and he's got it's like a box or a book or a pouch on his belt that has the Sheikah tribe eye on it.
That's interesting.
And hopefully, if you haven't seen that already, we'll pull it up for you, and it'll be in here somewhere.
I'm looking through some images. I'm seeing he's got like
It's pretty much an art from that first trailer we have where he jumps up in the air and shoots his bow. It's pretty much that, but it's kind of like what, watercolor maybe. It's kind of similar to Skyward Sword.
It is definitely. I think they're leaning more towards the Skyward Sword kind of.
It's got like paint strokes behind it.
It seems to have more of a Wind Waker kind of vibe as well. I think that's because Wind Waker was a big, expansive world, even though it was just kind of, or it was supposed to be a big Well, it is, but it's just like you have these little dots that you can go to. That's about it. In Wind Waker, see, I'm looking through. All I see is he's got a book.
Yeah,
with
a book or a box.
Oh, that's actually very interesting. I'm actually okay.
I want to know what's about that. What's going on with his
that.
arrows? What about that generic looking sword? There's so many questions.
It would be cool to
asked.
see if they did expand on the Sheikah tribe.
Shiaku?
I say there's an A, but it's like Sheikah tribe. Sheikah.
I call it Sheikah.
Sheikah.
I've been mispronouncing Zelda pronouns for a very long time
Because all we've ever seen from Zelda, like the Sheikah tribe at all, is Sheik or Impa.
and
That's about it. But even though
the
Sheik's not
lens,
really
the lens of truth,
and the well,
and then there's the stones, the Sheikah stones,
yeah.
the truth stones, the things that you hit and they go boing boing and tell you the time.
So it would be interesting if maybe this technology is actually a part of their thing. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking
There's a lot that can be explored
the
there.
Technology can also belong to Skyloft people.
All may be revealed. Nintendo at
well,
E3.
I've actually been playing Minish Cap, and I noticed there are Sky people in that game as well. It's like, whoa!
Huh?
Yeah. You have to go up to the clouds in a temple.
I've been there twice. I don't remember any Sky people.
There are Sky people in there.
Are they
I was like, Skyloft people!
What do they look like?
They look like normal people.
Normal people?
They're not little bird things.
Those things
Which
are
those
creepy.
also may be the Skyloftians. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think Nintendo knows her.
Well, look, I think if Zoras can evolve into bird people, I think Skyloftians can turn into bird people as well. It's weird. All right, we're going down a deep, dark rabbit hole that's Zelda theories and stuff like that. We should do a video on it.
But since we're talking about E3, I wanted to also mention, going back to the NX, that to reiterate that Zelda is going to be on both the Wii U and the NX, so that means Zelda will be released in March of next year. Just want to point that out there. And there's already been a few games rumored to be confirmed for the NX. Of course, Zelda and Koei Tecmo, or Tecmo Koei, maybe. I don't speak Japanese that well. They have confirmed that they are working on some projects for the NX, but they have nothing to announce. And you know,
Hyrule Warriors 3.0 or whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, real quick, I'm just going to touch on this real quick. I have been playing Hyrule Warriors Legends, and they do improve the gameplay. Obviously, the 3DS is not the best place for that because, well, my normal 3DS, where it kind of runs kind of poorly, I was like, I know it would be a lot of work to give those big updates that Legends has to the Wii U version, but I would think it would benefit the Wii U version a lot if they put the...
Don't those carry over to the Wii U version?
The characters do, but the wooden ocarina, the fairy ocarina you get that lets you teleport across the map. And
that sounds like something I could use because that's what made me quit playing that on the Wii U. Was I didn't like going over the map. You
know the owl statues? They introduced those in some of the battlefields, like the bigger ones, and then you can teleport across. If like say, oh no, this keep.
Do you have to go to it first?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I could see you can't just teleport.
You have to get there, and then you just
that's
activate
fair.
it. You activate it, and then you can go back there. So
I have Hyrule Warriors Legends on my 3DS, but I haven't opened it yet. I might.
You should play it on the new 3DS.
I've got the new 3DS.
Give it a try. I mean, it does. It also has like My Fairy feature, which
is that where you can pet your fairies?
Yes, not like Fire Emblem style, but you can feed them and stuff. And
I've been noticing a trend with that lately. Nintendo likes for you to pet your game people.
There's just
Pokemon and Me. That Fire Emblem thing.
It's an interesting thing.
Miitomo.
Speaking of Miitomo.
Your friends from Miitomo come over and you can pet them in the face and they'll get happy. That's all I'm going to say about that. Before we switch topics, are you familiar with Emily Rogers?
No.
She's like a journalist. She does journalism on the side. She investigates. Well, I don't want to say investigate, but she investigates. But she looks into rumors and she goes over like a company's past financial stuff, and she's just in there. She's in the community, and she's been confirmed. A lot of her rumors she's reported have been confirmed. She has brought one to the internet's attention that Retro Studios, who we all know and love from Metroid Prime,
yes,
and they've done pretty good with the Donkey Kong Country series. It is rumored that they're working on their own IP for the NX.
That would be interesting. I wonder what kind of style they're going to go with, though. Like, if it's going to be something new, or if they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to make another kind of Metroid Prime-ish style game." They probably won't. They probably won't do anything like Donkey Kong or Metroid.
I hope they don't do anything about it. I love the two Donkey Kong Country games they made, but I'm done with that. I want to see what they can do. I've been wanting to see what they can do for a long time. Before they started out, they had some prototype games that they made that they were working on before Metroid Prime, but that never came to fruition. And they just
like their RPG, was that?
Yeah, they had like an RPG. And I think maybe some other stuff. Something about a raven. It was kind of RPG-ish, fantasy RPG-ish.
Yeah, but that one never saw the light of day. Unfortunately,
it might see it on the next. I think they could do something pretty good on their own.
I would be actually very happy if they made an action RPG. So something with that concept, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be okay. I love action RPGs. Just make it especially not so long.
Because we could use a little bit more Western style games with that Nintendo flair, because we don't get a lot of that. We'd use that from time to time.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of Miitomo, real quick, did you know Miitomo has reached 10 million users?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's pretty significant. I wonder how much money Nintendo's actually making off of it.
That's really hard to tell because it's free and you only pay for in-game currency or tickets to play games, which you can get along pretty well without ever even have to spending in-game money, because that only buys you clothes for your Mii, which for me isn't that useful because most of the clothes that they have are for girls. So I've been saving my money.
I haven't actually touched Miitomo in a while.
I noticed.
Well, it's just it felt difficult to me to actually get more questions. Like, I'd have to go listen to somebody, then I'd have to go back, and then me would ask me a question. I'm like, okay, here's the question.
Usually it doesn't ask you until you, like, stop listening to other people.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it only asks me if I want to post a picture of the clothes I put on from earlier. I'm like, no. That's dumb.
But for me, I don't know. That just kind of turned me off. I'm like,
I've answered over 300 questions on there. I've been busy.
I can tell. Plus, it takes up a lot of battery, and I was out in the middle of Vegas, so...
It does. I never play any games on my phone. In fact, I haven't had any games on my phone for like 2 or 3 years. And the day that I downloaded Miitomo, it drained my battery twice as fast.
But so there's that pretty interesting news. And also, Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing are going to be coming to mobile devices.
No, I actually think that's a pretty good choice for Nintendo to bring. I think both of those games, especially Animal Crossing, would totally fit that style of play, especially for more casual players.
So Nintendo will release a pair of mobile apps based on its Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing franchises. The company confirmed earlier in the week both are targeted for release this fall sometime. Fire Emblem for mobile devices will be more accessible in comparison to the other Fire Emblem games for the people who play them. So it's kind of reaching out to the mobile market, which jokes, in the gaming community are like, oh, the mobile market, that's for...
Those casuals.
The casuals.
Filthy casuals.
Filthy. The filthy casuals. Which it kind of is. Just for the
filthy,
casual
though.
gamers, not filthy.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
It's a different market.
Plus,
it's not for you.
Plus, a lot of people start out at the the casual level, and then they go into hardcore Dark Souls streaming. Oh.
That's the path my grandma traveled.
Oh, really?
She's playing Dark Souls now.
That stupid dragon killed me, Jack. I gotta go
The
back and get
swear
my sword.
words that they had back then, they are not as bright as you would think.
As bright. So the mobile version of Animal Crossing will connect somehow to at least one of the Animal Crossing games for people who are dedicated. So that's pretty cool. So you could bring in your character maybe from
See, I would have.
I think this is what they were talking about when they said they'd have cross compatibility with your game system and your mobile. You just kind of sign in with your Nintendo ID and.
I would have expected them to make a straight out Animal Crossing game, but I could see some connection between your Nintendo system and a smartphone app being cool. Maybe like a kind of like a calendar app, like you usually have, but for Animal Crossing, that tells you, like, today's Forest Day or today's Turkey Day.
Turkey Day.
Go hunt down some ingredients and make turkeys with your animal pals. Or put to-do lists like, don't forget to take that package from Squeakers to Momo. I just made those up. Those are probably names, though. Squeakers and Momo.
Squeakers and Momo. Also, one last little bit of Nintendo news. Did you know Xenoblade Chronicles is now on the Wii U eShop?
Yeah, I did.
I'm actually very happy because I remember I borrowed your copy of the game, and I was like, well, if I have Xenoblade X...
And you never finished it.
Well, yeah, I never finished it, but now I can. Now I don't have to hoard your game.
You'll just buy that version and still not finish it. Now, this would be a good opportunity to test out whether you can continue off your save from the disc-based game.
I will definitely try that. I'll see if it pops up.
Because that would be a very convenient feature.
It does open the Wii menu, so unless it's kind of like the Metroid Prime thing and it just launches from the home menu, but it should pick it up. Should be in there. So let's see. Yeah, so that'd be I haven't even finished X. It's just so long. I have 90 hours on it. So long.
God.
I know. 90 hours.
Where are you in the game?
I'm only on chapter maybe 12.
Do you know if you're near the end or not?
I'm actually kind of close. I know.
Kind of close. I'm not going to play that game now. 90 hours to be kind of close is no.
Well, that's just because I've been doing a lot of side stuff, which you actually kind of have to do if you want to level up. And I'm only level 40, 41, something like that. It's, yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to come over and play that, because I'm glad that I played Xenoblade Chronicles, but I am glad I got done with that game and put it in my shelf, because I was tired of it by the end.
Well, thing is, if it's basically the same thing. You might get tired of this one.
Like it took me 3 years to beat.
I still do want to play it. It's so long and drawn out, but it's supposed to be that way. That's what it's for.
Yeah, that's the audience for that is there. I'm just not part of that audience. I'm glad that those people have a game to dedicate that time to.
But there is a lot of constant progression if you're into that sort of thing. So once you finish like leveling up a class, since your class levels up differently from your person, you get to basically move on to another class and continue to level that up. But you can always go back. And actually, once you master a class, you can kind of use a subclass, I want to say. I'm trying to think. There was something. You master a class. Oh, yeah, you can mix and match. So, say I want to be like a dual-wielding sniper. Since the sniper... Yeah. It's like, yeah, you can kind of mix and match classes, so you can take a weapon
like dual-wield snipers?
No.
Rifles?
No, dual
That'd
swords.
Be cool.
Dual swords and
one
a
for each eye.
No, you finish leveling up on a tree, and you can take that weapon since you have the mastery of that weapon, and you can bring it over to another class. One that says you have a spear, or you can it's. I think it's pretty interesting. So you can essentially mix and match things. It's pretty great. But enough about Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think I've delved on that a little bit too much.
That's one of the Operation Rainfall games, though, right? Wasn't there?
X? No. Actually, now that I think about it, that was actually Chronicles.
And so Pandora's Tower is on the Wii U eShop now too, isn't it?
Really? No, I haven't seen it. I wonder if I could look that up.
I thought I heard something about that.
I was wondering though. I'm like, well, if they're bringing Xenoblade X, why don't they bring the other ones? I guess. Let's see.
I think Pandora's, because those Operation Rainfall games, to get those 3 games over from Japan and Europe to the US. I think it was Pandora's Tower and Xenoblade Chronicles, and I think the last story was in there too.
Let's see. There's something popped up. I would actually be very interested if this was here. And once it loads.
Because if that was true, then that'd be 2 out of the 3 Operation Rainfall games that are on the Wii U eShop. And I bet those guys are feeling pretty good about themselves. We come a long way, guys.
It says right here, Pandora's Tower Wii U, 1999.
Awesome.
So, wow.
All you need now is the last story.
Put that on my wish list. And actually, let me look that up. Search. Let's see, last story. All right. Doing things a little bit different here on the Nerd Edification Hour. I'm not finding it. Let me see.
I don't think it has, though.
Let me tell you about the next thing. I'll look it up, and then once you start talking, I'll go back to it. So, to this week's nerd vocab is Zoigma.
So what now?
Zoigma.
You mean Zoidberg?
Zeugma. Not Zoidberg, Zoigma.
Why not Zoidberg?
Why not Zoidberg?
Next week.
I can't. So we didn't really have anything that matched this. No words really matched this week what we're talking about.
Because I don't think that's a real word.
It is. It is a weird word, and it dates back to 1580s. The word is defined as a figure of speech in which a single word, usually a verb or adjective, is synonically related to 2 or more words, though having a different sense in relation to each other.
I don't understand the word. I don't understand what you just said.
So, figure of speech.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Related Phonetically related to two or more words that having
What's
different sense of
phonetically?
relation. That's like
Synonym?
pear,
Like
like a pair of pants, or a pear, like the fruit, or a pair of.
I'm not catching what you're spitting, Caleb.
That's the best way I could explain it. Have to. All right, I'll look it up again. Da-da-da-da. It is a real word. So he works. All right. He works his work. Wait. He works his work. I mine. That doesn't make any sense. That's the example.
Really?
That's the example they have. He works his work. I mine. I don't know. That's the weird. All right, moving on.
I think you've been tricked, Caleb.
No, it's a real
Somebody's
word.
pulling your leg.
It's a real word.
I don't believe you.
Story on Wii U. It's not up there yet, so nothing's coming up on the Wii U.
I want to say the last story that's my favorite Wii game.
No, it's not. It's
No.
not on the eShop. The last story's not. All right. So now we're going to move on to our technology news and whatnot. So Segue, so wonderful. So Samsung is developing a standalone VR device.
That doesn't use their phone?
Pretty much.
Because I know they have I think a device that you put your phone in.
Yeah,
And they actually have it at Best Buy.
Yeah,
But
Irvin has one.
I want to go check it out, but I was thinking about who else has put that on their face.
Irvin, I have actually. I
Like-
tried it out because he brought it along. It's pretty interesting. So
I've been pretty into virtual reality, but I haven't got to experience. I played on a Virtual Boy once. That was pretty cool.
you felt nauseated.
No, I did not.
Really?
I was way into it. I think it was when I was a kid. I'm trying to remember what I played. I think it was Wario. Wasn't there a Wario game? Or there was a game where you like shells go across the screen.
I think I was like tennis.
Tennis? I don't think it was tennis because it was turtle shells.
I
did play tennis though. Everything was red and black. I don't remember it being 3D though. I might have been too young to comprehend
I don't think it was 3D.
three-dimensional space. But as to virtual reality, I'm so interested in that, but I haven't got to play around with any of it. I know Jeremy has a Oculus Rift development kit doohickey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to invite myself over to his house. Jeremy's got a lot of toys at his house,
He does.
and I haven't been over there yet. I'm going to invite myself. Jeremy, who is not here today, which is why I'm able to talk so much. Between Jeremy and Rachel, I wouldn't be able to get a word in edgewise.
Nope.
I love you guys, though. You're fun to watch.
So Samsung's Gear VR is one of the cheaper ways to get into VR, but it's soundly surpassed by the Oculus and the Vive. But Samsung is determined to stay in the game, which is why it's developing its standalone VR headset. So that'll be interesting. It'll have basically two kind of VR stuff on the market. The phone thing, you do have to have a pretty good phone. Obviously, the graphics aren't going to be as impressive, but I did try it out. It's pretty interesting. And at NAB, there was a lot of VR stuff, and I did try that out as well. There were a bunch of women wearing tight clothes, putting people into VR headsets. I was like, I don't know.
I am uncomfortable.
I was like, okay.
Put that over my eyes, please.
And, it was a pretty big thing. Also, 4K was a big thing at NAB. 4K everywhere.
4K.
A lot of devices can't even run 4K right now.
I think I'm going to skip 4K.
8K.
I'm going to wait to 8K.
8K, there's no difference unless you're up close. There's literally no point unless you have like a giant screen or you're up close. Which we can, but computers can barely run 4K right now. I don't see how 8K
I can't
is
run
gonna
4K.
Be. Yeah, nobody can. Unless you have two $3,000 Titans graphics cards, you cannot run 4K pretty much. It is quite, yeah. All right. So moving on, Bangladesh bank exposed to hackers by cheap switches, no firewall. That's the headline for it.
That went over my head as well.
Bangladesh's central bank was vulnerable to hackers because it did not have a firewall and used a second-hand $10 switches to network computer connection to the Swift. Basically, their security was not good.
What's a switch?
I don't actually know. That should have been the nerd vocab.
To me, a switch is when my grandma got mad at me and I was in trouble and she made me get a switch out the tree.
A network switch, also called a switching hub, is a computer network device that connects devices together on a computer network by using packet switching to receive processing. So basically like on and off signals. Kind of connects.
Sure.
So what it was is
they were bad switches.
These hackers said, hey, this bank doesn't have a firewall, and they're only using $10 kind of network switches, which means they're not very secure at all. So a lot of people...
I'm not even sure what's a firewall. I know it's like a...
We've had this nerd vocab before.
I don't watch the show.
Wow.
I just record
Did you
it.
fall asleep behind the wheel?
I do.
Basically...
It's your sexy voice. It puts me right to sleep.
Thank you. Basically, firewall is kind of a security protocol for a computer that doesn't allow... only let certain programs in.
So it's not an actual...
It's a software.
Wall?
It's not a wall of fire.
I mean, I know it's not a wall of fire, but it's not like a device.
It's a software.
It's software, okay.
It's not actual hardware. Switches are hardware, I believe. Kind of like a hardware, software kind of thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. I'm not too sure. But
do that. Come to his house and correct him.
Yeah, come to my house or leave a nasty comment. That's fine. So basically, a lot of people in Bangladesh are not happy.
I wouldn't be there.
Because these hackers are like, So...
I'm not happy with the
They
banks.
siphoned about nearly $1 billion.
Good for them. That's
a lot. That's more than I could ever hope to make.
Is that... Did you say 1 billion?
In 5,000 lifetimes.
You said 1 billion?
Nearly a billion.
Nearly a billion. Is that in US dollars or euros?
Yeah.
Euros?
That's in US dollars.
US dollars.
That's translated from their currency to ours.
So what they do, they just have it transferred into different accounts? Because I know they can't tell the computer to
put it all in
pick
one
up
account.
Stacks of cash and carry it to them.
Well,
that'd be cool.
The bank is missing about $1 million American dollars, so that's where they get that from. Where it's at, we don't know. It's probably in multiple accounts, probably operated by a little computer AI somewhere.
I wonder what that feels like to lose that much money. Have you ever lost a $20 bill and just be like, oh man, where'd that $20 bill
Actually,
go?
I purposefully lost $20 in Vegas so I would never gamble again. So yes, I do know what losing $20.
Can you imagine that, but times a billion? You just... That's what people jump out of the windows for.
Pretty much.
Buildings.
Basically, you do. That's the only way out. There's no way of getting out of $1 billion losing that much. So also
Caleb just killed somebody.
Sorry. Don't actually jump out of buildings. It's not good. Not good for the environment. We'll just say that.
Or good for the people who have to clean the sidewalks. Be considerate. Don't be so selfish.
This is a PG show, Kyle. Don't put that imagery in people's heads.
We're talking Tom and Jerry style.
Oh, okay.
Looney Tunes getting flat.
So moving on, last bit of news. It's pretty good. Actually, I have one more thing to talk about after this. I just remembered. But the Solar Impulse completes its long-delayed flight across the Pacific Ocean. If you don't know what that is...
I don't.
That is basically a solar-powered plane.
Oh. Actually, I think I did hear about that. Didn't it have... Well, continue.
Yep. It's... So earlier this week, over 60 hours in the air and months of work on the ground, Solar Impulse completed its crossing of the Pacific. The landing at Moffett has a double F.
Mafia?
Moffett?
Muffin?
Whatever. The field that they landed in completed the most challenging part of its around-the-world journey, one interrupted by a long layover in Hawaii that allowed the team to sort out issues with the craft's batteries. So that's pretty cool. Solar-powered airplanes are a pretty good idea because they're always above the clouds anyways.
Hopefully. During the daytime.
During the daytime, you're right.
Yeah, that'd be pretty useful. And if it's the same thing I'm thinking about, I think I heard not too long ago that before it took off, it had some trouble and had to land right away. I don't know if you can confirm that, but
I don't know about that.
Maybe you can.
Listed here.
Maybe you can confirm it. Leave a comment.
Maybe you at home.
Those investigative sleuths that watch us.
So
that one person who wasn't Caleb's mom.
Wow. I don't know. I hear a lot of people do watch the show, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. It's good. It's good that we're getting out.
It's your mom in disguises.
One last thing. This probably should have been in video game news, but I just remembered.
Caleb.
Keep
up the good work.
Why is there a mustache?
Because it's your mom with a mustache.
My mom doesn't have a mustache. She's gonna find you and beat you up for saying that.
No, she's putting on a disguise, coming to you as different people and telling you that the show is awesome.
Oh, okay. Well,
your mom is a really nice person.
She is. Thank you. Did you know that Hearthstone had its expansion earlier this week?
No.
It was the Whispers of the Old Gods, which is... Why are you laughing?
Because that's so nerdy.
Well, that's what this show is about.
I know. It's making me cry. It's so beautiful. I'm literally crying right now.
Why?
This is so nerdy. It's so dumb.
Well, it's so
Whispers
cool.
of the Old Gods.
Whispers of the Old Gods is basically based on the Lovecraftian.
Look, my face red.
It's based on the Lovecraftian mythos of the World of Warcraft universe, where what? Leave me alone. It's basically so what you do every time I talk about Hearthstone, you just start crying behind the desk, like. But actually, Cthulhu is a thing you can summon Cthulhu if you get two.
Lots of people can do that.
If you get two blood of the ancient ones on the field at the same time, it'll summon the ancient one. He's a 30-30 Cthulhu, and it's like it's great. There's a lot of shenanigans going on right now. A lot of squid-based stuff. Everything's a squid.
Are they kids?
No, unfortunately, no.
They're just squids now.
Yeah, they're just squids.
Splatoon reference.
Yes, but if you don't know, if you're a fan of Hearthstone, the expansion is out now. In case you didn't know, and it's actually, I feel like it's more balanced. They've introduced the standard bracket and then the wild bracket, which is unlimited. So you can use kind of like any cards. Do you know about unlimited in the Pokemon card games?
No.
You know about the Pokemon TCG at all?
I used to play.
Well, what it is in Pokemon...
The video game.
TCG.
The Pokemon card game, video game. I beat it.
Since they come out with new packs and stuff, new expansion things like that, they kind of have to balance it. Because if they kept in a lot of the old cards, it would kind of break a lot of stuff.
I can dig it.
But in unlimited format, you can kind of use whatever, and that's basically what Hearthstone has introduced, which I haven't tried that out yet, but it would be, I think I can make some pretty awesome decks, a lot of gimmicky decks. That's what I do anyways on my channel.
Your bad Hearthstone decks.
My bad Hearthstone deck ideas. It's about to get crazy.
It's about to get crazy.
Yeah. But it is more balanced. There's a lot of old god stuff, a lot of new decks coming out. It's pure chaos right now, actually. But I'm pretty excited for it. I'll be making more content on my channel. And speaking of my channel, you know what time it is, Kyle?
Is it shameless plug time?
It is shameless plug time. If you want to see this, go ahead and go to Strangely Entertaining on YouTube. Just type that in. Hopefully you'll find it. It's a bit hard to find.
If you're watching it on YouTube right now,
then all right, you've made it. Congratulations.
You can go home now.
Yeah. I'm actually hoping I need to get 100 subscribers so I can change my URL, so I'll actually be able easier to find. I'm close. I only need 41 more.
41?
41 more people.
I'll make 20 accounts. You make 21.
I might need to because I need to change my URL. And then also, if you want to see our Facebook page, that is just look up the Nerd Edification Hour on Facebook. What else? Strangely Entertaining. No.
Twitter.
That's at Nerd Edification on Twitter. Go look that up. Just, at Nerd Edification, one word. Kyle?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter if you want, but
I
don't recommend it.
Twitter.
I post some little bit of art stuff. I do photography. I make sure a funny video every now and again. I do make shirts.
He does.
Some nerdy game-related shirts on T-Furry. Not T-Furry.
T-Furry?
I don't have anything to do with furries.
I don't think you want to...
I'm not dissing them, but I don't have anything to do with them. T-Public. But you can find all that from following me on Twitter, which is at TurdFurgy. At symbol TURDFURGY.
And if you watched a couple weeks ago, you would know that we do have a Nerd Edification Hour shirt.
We do.
We have merchandise. Let's see, search
if
artist.
You want to throw away your money, you might as well throw it away at us. And we will use that money to improve the show by buying more swag for us to put on the set.
I see the new shirt that you have, the Mario shirt. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it has Mario in a toilet.
It does.
It's more interesting than that. It's pixelated. But other than that, for shameless plugs, I just plug my own shirts. I have one last PSA. If you're familiar with the Humble Indie Bundle, they've got a little doohickey going on with Nintendo called the Humble Friends of Nintendo Bundle. You donate some money, you get some games. Right now, for donating money, you could get Affordable Space Adventures, which is an excellent Wii U game. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, Freedom Planet, Darksiders 2, and for the 3DS, you can get Retro City Rampage.
I forgot Darksiders 2 is on the Wii U.
I've got it on the Wii U. I haven't played it. Shantae's Curse for the 3DS, Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure, Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, and you can get Citizens of Earth for either the 3DS or Wii U, but not both. So you go donate some money. It's for a good cause. It's charity. I forgot what charities is, but it's charity.
It's a charity.
It doesn't matter. It's charity.
Help the children.
It's not help the famous people. I mean, they're probably dying or poor.
What?
You got to help them. I mean, yeah. I think it might.
Is that a title? Title shade? You throwing title shade?
Title shade.
Title shade. Remember we talked about title. I think the help your favorite artist get more money or whatever.
Oh,
the title with lossless stream.
Like
It was a
Patreon.
dumb idea. It's dumb.
Yeah, you should support your artists if you want to. Feel free.
Yeah, but whatever. So
the charity's good.
Is that all?
Yeah.
All right, I think I'll do it here for this week on the show, and we'll be going on a hiatus. Don't forget that. We'll keep you updated. Go ahead and follow the Facebook. Just look up Nerd Edification Hour once again. And until we let you know what's happening, until next time, stay fancy.
Have a good one.